Hello YouTubers, it's another rainy and windy day today, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to record a video just showing two of my more popular video cameras in my collection. The reason they're more popular is because they play a multiple of different formats. This is a Digital 8 classic Sony tape. So Digital 8, if you don't know what Digital 8 is, it was a creation by Sony which allowed users to use standard Sony Hi8 tapes and record the digital signal to them rather than analog, and they record exactly the same as a mini DV in that sense. So it gave people a lot of, well, it was a cheaper option at the time because the tapes were cheaper, Hi8 tapes. They're now quite collectible because obviously Sony no longer makes them, but it was a cheaper way, plus people who'd already bought into the analog format or maybe already had a Sony Hi8 camera could simply use those tapes again and reap the benefits basically of the higher quality. So this is the Sony digital tape, but these cameras are more popular purely for the fact that this is one of the first ones that Sony released in Digital 8. The early models were able to do the Digital 8, so recording the higher quality, but also more importantly they could do backward compatibility and play the original Video 8 and Hi8 tapes. So this really played three different formats. This is the one that I've just done a couple of videos on, recorded on. It's quite a hefty unit actually, big fat one. It's got a standard battery on there at the moment. This one has a much bigger, nicer screen versus the TRV 110. So we'll just fire it up now. It's got tape in it. Let's get a closer look. Zoom in. So yeah, this is a much nicer, big, clear screen. The resolution on this is a bit nicer as well versus the 110. This camera is the TRV 620. So as I say, it records in Digital 8 and then has the backward compatibility like the other one. So yeah, these are the two much more popular cameras for that reason. Let's just have a more in-depth view around. You've got all the buttons inside, and with all these cameras, the first thing I did when I purchased it was open this little hatch here, and it takes the little CR2025s, I think they are, little sort of watch type batteries, which stores the settings and the time and date. And then yes, you've got all your buttons here for changing, putting on digital effects, adjusting time, putting on date code, end search, which essentially will forward onto the tape where it sees a clear part, so you don't record over any pre-existing footage. That only works if you have had the tape in there and not taken it out. However, if you take the tape out and put it back in, it will not be able to perform the end search. So that's worth noting. And then you've got your standard menu button here, which will bring up the very traditional Sony menu, digital zoom, widescreen, steady shot, and so on, sound recording both in 16-bit, which is much better, button's a bit funny on this one, and then 12-bit. I'll leave it on 16, it's higher quality. Tape record always on standard play, I don't want long play. As much as it will make the tape last longer, the quality will obviously be degraded for doing that. Another nice thing about this model over the 110 is this has a colour viewfinder. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. So yeah, really nice big screen, colour viewfinder. Apart from that, really, they're essentially the same units. Another reason these are very sought after, apart from, say, playing all the different formats, is the fact with that feature they have a Firewire connection. So let's just show you on here all the ports. Your TV standard stuff, headphone, mic input and everything else. Let's see if we can get in there clear. But down on the bottom here, I don't know if you can see it, there is the Firewire. And that is an input and an output on this camera as well. So you could plug, well, you can plug this into the computer certainly via Firewire, if your computer still has that. Otherwise you may need to do adapters like I've had to do on my Mac because it's a newer one. But because this is input and output, you can output from this to your computer, and then if you so wished, once you've done sort of finished editing and the like, you could then put it back onto tape. Oh, someone's you records. Right. as I was saying, so the ability with the in and output on these, the benefit being once you've finished editing your video, you could then put that into the camera. So it works on that side, and also with this camera as well, in this particular one versus the other one, this is a major benefit, is the video works in an input and output. So if you have an old analog source such as VHS, obviously this is going to play your old 8mm tape, so that's not a problem, it's going to send them out via firewire to your computer. With the VHS you could go through SCART to Furno into this, and then from that out of the firewire to your computer. So really it works as an all-round digital converter to back up all of your footage. But yeah, that's not much more to say on these. So it's early days with this camera, and I will be posting some more sample footage from it. It's as you can see from outdoors, it is not the best weather. So yeah, stay tuned for some more videos to come. Speak to you later.